What's up, good people? It's the mayor here, joined by the councilman. And if you're hearing the sound of my voice at the end of this beautiful Saturday evening, that means we're about to review WWE Bad Blood. A lot of stuff to talk about. And if you just saw the ending, which we kind of projected yesterday, we got a lot of shit to get into. So keep it locked here. We're going to break down every match, go over our predictions, and see where everybody's tally is, and talk about something that just got activated here next on WWT.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Making sure y'all on y'all goddamn toes. You thought we was ending the show right away. That means you was in here late. You thought you got the outro.
I mean, technically, that's also an intro. Like, hey, we thank y'all for tuning in and coming in with us. It works both ways.
Keeping everybody on their toes, on the toes.
Oh
man. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. And like, I'm kind of giddy. We can just get into the ending straight, but I'm going to keep it very cordial and build up to the ending. Just because we can go so many directions with that. But overall, what did you think of the card?
Man, 10 out of 10. It gave me everything I needed, man. It ended stories I needed to be ended. It opened up new things. I enjoyed it because I got everything that I wanted out of it.
Okay. I like that. I think for myself, it's always hard to compete against football. And there has been some upsets, some good matchups, a lot of highlights. So I've been going back and forth all day. But just seeing different parts of the card, like Punk and Drew was such a great Hell in a Cell match. Bayley and Nia showed new elements. Liv was hooping in that match. She looked very damn good. There's so many positives to take from this event. And then, of course, just I love that the company, TKO, Triple H and company, kind of gave like a big middle finger to the IWC for all the like, hey, music and wrestling is not supposed to be hip hop, blah, blah, blah. They had every damn artist you can imagine up in there.
Everybody was there. They said,
everybody was there.
Everybody.
So, I mean, that in itself made for a beautiful card in Atlanta. Of course, the marching band, the freaking orchestra Reigns had, just good stuff. So we're going to jump right into the beginning, which honestly, we argued that this should close the show. Ultimately, it didn't. But damn, was this a good match. Damn, was this very violent. And how we talked about the antithesis to what we saw, I guess, with Ricochet and Ospreay this past Wednesday. This told a story in the ring, in multiple layers. I mean, there's going to be visions of Punk trying to choke out Drew with the legs of the table.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the bracelet being broken. Hell, the spot that CM Punk took on the outside of the ring and the table, that was another big one. But then Drew taking that spot on the steel steps, missing the Claymore. Oh my God.
Yeah,
everything looks so damn painful.
Yeah, I hope Trick Williams took notes. This is how you do storytelling in the ring. This is how your matches need to be. Like I still can't believe it was over in like an hour. Like when I looked up, I was like, "Yo, they really just wrestled for a whole hour. They took up 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and they did not skip a beat." I'm actually kind of glad this opened it because this was one of those that shaped up to be like, okay, this story has to end. Like even like Triple H said in the post show, like when it gets to the top, where does it need to go? And when it can't go nowhere else, you do Hell in a Cell. And I think they just delivered. If anyone should be upset, I would say Wesley should be upset because CM Punk totally stole your shit. And just did it better, wrapping the chain around his knee.
I thought about that too. I was like, you know what? One thing I liked about this match, you can tell when they were setting up the next spot, they took their time. And they told a story in the ring by taking their time, still in the pain. Like, look how long it took Drew McIntyre to get them steps into the ring. He was telling a story about how his back was hurting, how he was in so much pain, while Punk was just pretty much lifeless. Drew doing that same thing before the finish says a lot. That's just veteran savvy right there, because hey, we're not gonna make no mistakes. We're gonna get this damn chain wrapped around my leg and knee for the big finish.
We're gonna show you how it's done. We're gonna show you what the vets do.
And then normally in this rivalry, what we've seen for the past 9-10 months is that the beef was eternal, but the symbolism that we saw at the end of the match with Punk exiting the cage, slamming the door shut, that lets us all know as fans, like, this is done.
And I'm glad. I'm glad it's done. That's what I wanted to see. I was like, yo, I don't need to see this go no further. End it here, and that's exactly what they did. This is how you end off a rivalry, and you let these two go their separate ways into new stories, whatever it is that they about to lead into. And I love seeing that about this. I also love that no more red cage. We was back to the OG Hell in a Cell.
That too.
So glad about that. And then two, something that was, I think, even mentioned by Hunter again, and I also like was that we didn't get them going outside of the cell. Like the cell was still used as a weapon, but they stayed inside. I was like, you know what? This shows
that matters.
You don't need those big spots to make a Hell in a Cell match be something that it is what it is. It's like, yo, it's Hell in a Cell. And they used the ring so well, especially for it to be the 27th anniversary. I think they gave that match much respect, especially with them pulling like the Hell in a Cell PLEs and stuff like that, and then just having them in particular PLEs or regular shows.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that I liked, and there were so many subtleties that you can point to that might put this in match of the year candidate when it's all said and done. When we're in December. When the ref went to hand Drew a washcloth, hand him a towel, and he just took it and threw it. Like, no, I don't need to wipe the blood off my face. I'm about to get busy.
Yeah, it's time to go to work. But that I was like, we asked for it. We didn't know we was gonna get it. But them being busted open, I was like, oh, this is what we doing. It's on. Okay. I thought we was gonna get that throughout the whole paper, the whole PLE. But I was like, okay, I get it, because this probably got the worst bad blood out of everybody. And I was like, all right, I get what y'all doing.
Yeah, let's open up the show with the nuclear hate, and then we can get on to the rest of the stuff that y'all came to see. I thought it was good. As you know, Punk won the match. Rivalry's over. I thought it was very interesting how they threw out the stats beforehand that now Drew is actually 0-3 in Hell in a Cell, and Punk won the war, but he dropped the last two, so 1-2 overall against Drew. But this was the big blow off. So good that they can go out to better things. I don't think this hurts Drew at all. No,
I don't think it hurts neither one of them. I think, like you said, it settles what we needed to be settled. That's it. This was a perfect ending to this rivalry. Doesn't make any one of them look less it doesn't make any of them look bad. It doesn't put Punk over crazy. It's like, yo, it's now we can reset. Time for them to go into their new stories.
This is an interesting take by Sindel. She said Punk and McIntyre opening the show was a detriment to the entire card because it absolutely overshadowed the entire night for her. The Rock and Jimmy, cool, still not as big as this match.
I can't agree with that though, Cindy. I really can't. Don't get me wrong. Was it the best match out of all of them? Yes. But also, too, out of all the stories, look how that one took to get built. So as much as you got to see the blood, the guts, the gore, and everything like that, not all of those stories were going to be filled like that. And I think each one played the part that it was supposed to play as we start to get into them. And I'm going to show y'all, because I've seen some of the comments with some of the matches and stuff like that. And it's like, yo, I don't agree if you look at how they've set these stories out.
And Javon, shout out to you, sir. He just hit it with some breaking news. So I had to go double check, and it's true. There's footage online. Kevin Owens just attacked Cody Rhodes outside of the venue. So, you know what? I like that, because I like angry Kevin. I love angry Kevin. I don't think there's a better character, angry Kevin, and his whole ideology, his whole gimmick is I pay attention to the product.
Yeah,
I watch the product, and I don't forget. So
fight Owens, fight. That's all I want. Just do best.
And you know what? We'll get into the main event, but that right there, him attack, that's needed, because if there's one thing I saw this main event is that everybody's still riding for the OTC. And it was crystal clear who the biggest star in the company was.
Yes, a lot was shown in this match. A lot was shown in that main event, and we gonna get there.
We'll get there because boy, them visuals, I was like,
yo, it was a lot. It was a lot told about everybody. Yes.
Your wife in the building throwing up the 1-2. This your champion? I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, but we gonna get y'all there. We're gonna get y'all there. We're gonna get there.
We gotta talk about the next match. Bayley and Nia Jax. And I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna let you get this off. But like, if Nia Jax out here hitting motherfucking hurricanranas, pack it up.
Look, that's why I was like, yo. I was like, look, listen, was it as flashy as Hell in a Cell? No, but if I took anything away, I was like, bro, Nia Jax just showed why she should be women's champion. And she's showing you like, yo, I'm taking this seriously. Like I saw how I seen her today. I'm like, yo, this lady working. I ain't never seen her put in submissions. I ain't never seen her do what she dog walked Bayley.
Mm-hmm. And Bayley was working. Bayley showed why she's one of the vets on the roster, why she can work with any style, and why she's a good hand in any rivalry you put her in. I still am of the mindset, I feel like this spot would have been better deserved for Naomi to be in this match. With everything she got going on with Tiffany, just picked up a win against Tiffany. But like Nia is showing you that she's in the absolute best stretch of her career. It wasn't the cleanest, but it's the fact that we're adding those layers into her moveset to counter different things, and like just amazing. And
then also too, what I kind of also noticed with this is that even throughout the PLE, I don't think the cleanest is the route that they even trying to take anymore. I think like when you start to kind of see like, oh, that spot wasn't as set as it needed to be, and make it a little bit more real. Like when I saw her like do the Samoan drop, but Bayley was trying to counter with the arm bar, it was like, this remind me of like now a real fight. Like you see, like in of course it's still choreographed, but like how you'll see in movies and stuff. And I'm like, okay, it wasn't as smooth, but it wasn't like, ooh, are you okay? It's like, oh no, I see y'all in a battle. Y'all tussling right now.
What did you think about I guess you call it the interference angle with your client Tiffany Stratton? How did that play out? I think one of the more memeable moments we'll see as a result of Bad Blood was Nia sitting up like Taker when she saw Tiffany with the briefcase.
I think it helped sell that story a little bit more. I will say though, no offense to my client, I don't think it was necessarily needed tonight. I would have loved to see like Nia Jax just really show why she's dominant. But again, I get the pairing. So we have to see it. We have to see it happen. We have to go. And it never gets, it hasn't, what I mean not say never, it hasn't gotten old yet of, is she gonna do it? Is she gonna cash in? And they're finding different ways of how the potential cash in looks. Like even like this time, like her, like the ref picking up the briefcase really. And thinking, oh, you're about to cash in. And it was like, no, I'm trying to figure out what to do next between these two. This wasn't for you to cash. And I'm like, okay, I see what y'all doing. I see where you're going. But was it necessary tonight? No, but I'm not mad that it happened.
And what do we feel like is next for Bayley? Because that felt very definitive. Not just the Super Samoan drop, but into the Annihilator. That was like, let's get you out the paint.
I mean, it shows that Bayley still ain't nothing to play with, because even Nia Jax having to do all of that shows the toughness of Bayley. But I think it's one of those things where, we've mentioned it, like going down to NXT and taking on Roxy. TNA is still there. I think helping bridge that gap, strengthen that bridge, and having someone like Bayley there, especially with the new class that's going in and the new regime of CW, like it seems like opportunity is still around from her rather than just staying on SmackDown, getting put into like regular rivalry. It's like, I think the sky's the limit for Bayley. By the way, I didn't get it.
Okay. That means people seeing this in the search results. Okay, go ahead. Algorithm,
followers right now. Yeah, make sure y'all hitting that like button on these videos.
Yeah, tell a friend and tell a friend. We go. Hey, Hey, we gonna get to the shits. Like,
hey, we gonna get to the shit.
Terramana right here.
Yeah. We doing like this PLE. We cooking right now, though. We cooking with this episode. Shout out to the 100 people that's watching right now. Yeah.
Right. But no, Nia Jax retains. That storyline will continue well into SmackDown. I like what we're seeing. I'm of the likes that I don't think Tiffany should cash in on Nia. I think it should be on Liv. Let's just throw a whole corkscrew into what the Judgment Day are doing. Because what Nia is doing right now is so special. I think it's going to take like a different. I don't know what superstar it's going to take, but I want to see Nia well into Royal Rumble season and probably not drop until Elimination Chamber if needed.
She might drop. Honestly, I can see her dropping at Mania. I really could. Like it's something that's there, and also too, it gives us a chance to see like Nia improve in the ring because you could tell that she's still even learning and using some of this new stuff. So I want to see her with different folks.
Yeah,
it's just now having them do that. Like I would love to see her go up against Chelsea Green. I love to see a Piper Niven and Nia Jax again for the title. So it's like it's a lot for, and I agree with you. I think Tiffy would be great going over to Raw and just completely shocking everybody and cashing in.
And for Nia, if she were to drop at Mania, I hope it's a coronation for somebody getting their first real championship run. Like if that's like Jade Cargill, if that's Jordan Grace, if she's quietly going to sign with WWE outside of TNA, I think those are beautiful spots to go over somebody as dominant as Nia on this current run.
I can see Jade because that was my pick to win the Women's Royal Rumble.
I agree. Sindale's saying that Nia might be another member of the current iteration of the Bloodline. We'll see. We don't know if the final boss is a part of this Bloodline either. He might have just been like, "Hey, I'm in Atlanta. I'm pulling up."
We don't know, but we go talk about it. We go talk about it.
We're gonna get there. Let's just go ahead and keep going on. We had Finn Balor and Damian Priest, and I'll be the first one to admit I was wrong about the results of this match. I had Balor winning like a lot of other people. I think only the Councilman and TK picked Damian Priest to be victorious here. And this is a great showing for Priest, despite the interference, despite JD McDonough, Carlito coming to help Finn Balor. He still got the edge, still won, showcasing why he was the chosen one out of that stable to be, I guess, the next big thing. I don't know what this means for Finn. This is Bad Blood. I won't say this felt definitive because they kind of left the arena while Damian was celebrating, kind of still looking back, seeing like they want to get their lick back. So I don't know. I was shocked that Finn did not win here.
I was not, because this is what happens when you consider yourself to be a street rat. And street rats never win. And there ain't no genie for them to grant them no 3 wishes to get them to some championships. And that's why, like, if it you know what's the mess up thing about it, and Priest even said it in this, it was a group, and originally it was a group of people who we knew could be main eventers, but for some reason it just wasn't clicking. And then that tended to happen. But for some reason, out of the 3 of them, and even with Dom coming in there, somehow Finn fell backwards. Like the 3 of them rose. Like Dominik is the most hated heel right now in WWE. Damian, world heavyweight champion. Rhea, women's heavyweight champion, longest reigning. But for some reason, like Finn just did not progress whatsoever. And it's just like, that's why even I said to y'all, like, you know, in the previous live about he doesn't seem like a winner to me anymore. Like y'all said, yes, he can go, but I'm like, yo, it seems like losing is just his thing right now. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like that it's happening to him, but it's like, there's nothing that changed in this entire thing before the match came up that made me think Finn was going to pull this one out.
You know what's wild is like when you get a Finn Balor singles match, it's like we hang on to the yesteryear stuff. It's like they throw in that inaugural Universal Championship run that he had because he was the first ever. But it's like that, to me, that sounded like that Doc Rivers Celtics championship, where it's like we really hanging on to the big 3 of Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett when it was just one championship.
Yep. It's the same thing like Mankind. Don't nobody know that man held that championship 3 times. Everybody remember the day he won it during the Monday Night Wars, and that's it. Most people don't remember how he lost it either. I'm like, But that's what you're known for, and it's the same thing with him. But it's like, unlike Mankind, it's like, bro, like what is going on? You keep trying to put yourself with, and I hate to say, and I don't want to say it like this, but the mid card level. You keep being in there, and it's like it's almost like you're a big fish that don't want to go to the big pond. And maybe it's like because of his size, because of his weight or something like that. But for some reason, every time it's time for Finn to step into the big league, it's like, no, I'm going to go back down to the mid level. Like, okay, well, we'll give you the tag titles to keep you here and keep you happy.
I blame one person for this. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins should have went backstage and done the right thing, say, you know what, I'm dropping the Finn. Just like I lost the Finn originally. We would never be putting Finn Balor in this type of scenario if that was the case. Because now Damian Priest won. Maybe he's done with Judgment Day. If you watch the press conference, they asked questions if he felt like that put him right back into the title picture. He said he does. He feels like he's right there. So maybe he gets another chance at Gunther. We don't know what will happen there. But I know when you look at the top stars of Monday Night Raw now, he's right there in the thick of things. When you look at Gunther, Sammy, Seth, all those guys, he'll be in the mix at all times. I have to feel like they attack him on Monday night. I feel like they will. Yeah.
I mean, but then it's like, where do you go though? Like after that, like it's like, okay, so what do we get Finn again? And it's just like, for what? He's already beat you. He's already gotten his lick back from you. So it's like, what else do we see? Oh, now Finn wins, and it's like, what, a best out of 3? It's like, this isn't like Drew and Punk anymore. Like, we already saw what was happening. And to be honest with you, Finn technically kind of won because he kicked you out. So it's like, I would just move on this, let him go for there, and then Finn figure out. Like, if they were smart with Finn's story, they would have Finn go after Jey Uso for the Intercontinental Championship.
Right. I feel it. Well, we talked about the World Championship picture on Raw. So since we're talking about that, we got to talk about this big news that we had from the COO Triple H, and that's that we have another belt. The same thing we criticized the other wrestling brand for, but we have another belt specifically for the Crown Jewel brand, meaning that once a year, your world champions on each brand will take on each other for this belt. If you know what that means current standings show Gunther would take on Cody Rhodes, Nia Jax would take on Liv Morgan for this Crown Jewel Championship. 50 carats, I might add, that Hunter so eloquently put. Of course, we in Atlanta, we got all the athletes and rappers out. We got to have some diamonds on the show. So what do we think of the belt? The design? The funny thing about this belt, when I first saw it, I said, damn, that's way bigger than Gunther's belt. That's the first thing I thought. So they put some design into this.
My first thing I thought was, so y'all sure y'all don't be worried about what AEW be doing? Because I thought this was the international championship real quick. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, no, that's a Crown Jewel belt. I ain't saying they taking shots at them, but that belt looked real familiar, if I'm just being honest.
I mean, it does have that feel. So Sindel says she hopes that we keep the belt around and not have it as a PLE gimmick belt. I mean, we've done that in the past. You may remember the greatest Royal Rumble, and
they never got defended.
Oh man, what was the other thing? There was a battle royal that they had, kind of like an Andre the Giant type of trophy for Crown Jewel, or one of the shows as well.
Oh yeah, and it was the same thing, kind of like with Royal Rumble. It had a big ass number in there. And a whole bunch. Didn't the dude that's from there win? What was his name? And he became part of Maximel Models.
Oh, Mansoor.
Yeah, didn't
Mansoor did win one.
Yeah, he won one of those.
So like this seems like it's going to be it's meant to make Crown Jewel more noteworthy and important. And my question is, for the inaugural Crown Jewel belt winners, how long after the event do we still see this title? Does it travel to Raw or SmackDown for the next couple of weeks, month, a day?
Man, I don't think it make it out tonight. I think we get it right there, get some pictures taken with it, and post that up on socials, and then that's it. That is it. It's just I think they knew Crown Jewel needed a gimmick, and they couldn't keep bringing in the Undertaker and Goldberg and all of them.
But they did.
I mean, they did.
The other thing that happened this segment. I mean, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah, I think they needed something that was a gimmick that could stand there. And something that I think too we've always wanted to see, because we're not getting that at Survivor Series no more. And I think that's what made me indicate that a little bit more too, that we won't get to see like Raw versus SmackDown anymore for Survivor Series. Right. They've kind of shifted that here, because I don't see why they won't start doing that with all the titles. It'll be like, okay, now we're doing the singles one where it's the US champion versus the Intercontinental champion. And then tag team versus tag team. Yeah. And I like this idea by Sindel. If it's a brand rivalry title, keep it with whatever championship they have. Me personally, if it's going to further this storyline with Pierce and Aldis, then they should just keep that title in their office of whatever the GM is. Like, hey, we have this for this year type of thing, and we're defending it. Think of college football. It's like, oh, we're defending our trophy at that event.
Yeah, that I like that better. And then you can see, like, you know, like if one brand went all, if they do decide to do it with all the titles, and they have all the case with all three of them right there and stuff, that'd be dope to see. Yeah. So
one thing we saw is during this segment, we got to see our Raw champion Gunther come out. He was attacked by Sami Zayn, but before that, he took some shots at Goldberg, pretty much saying that, hey, I know you saw me say that you were my childhood idol to Bret Hart a few weeks ago. I lied. Why would I idolize a one-trick pony like yourself who can't wrestle? And it's actually, we got a Goldberg spot. He didn't get physical, but he tried to boss up on Gunther, was held back, then got in the ring, did his poses in front of the Atlanta crowd. I think it's funny because I think it was Honey or somebody earlier this week that said, oh, Goldberg is the announcer or something like that. And I think we were all joking, but he was sitting in the crowd this weekend. And we know he's been online. His son plays football at Colorado under Coach Prime. Mm-hmm. He wants one more match. Does he get his match at Crown Jewel? If he were to get his match, versus who?
At Crown Jewel? I mean, I don't know if it happened at Crown Jewel, just because I think he'd want to take on Gunther, right? And Gunther's the champion, so.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
God, you don't think Sami Zayn's gonna win Monday?
No.
Oh,
not a chance. Not a chance.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, wait, what you know? I don't know. Wait a minute.
If our Gunther storyline is 0-2 versus Sami Zayn in big matches, I don't know what we're doing there.
I'm gonna go watch NWA. I'm gonna go watch that from now on. I'm just going.
No, I'm just thinking of like if you want to sell Crown Jewel, they usually bring somebody from the past back and kind of have your two Titans type match. Like usually it's where we see Omos in a match, mm-hmm. and we only got 4 weeks to build. But I think they were foreshadowing that just have them in the ring, do all that stuff after Gunther and Sammy were long gone. Let me know that they're foreshadowing that they might use him in some capacity.
I truly hope not. I don't want to see that.
It's a dope belt, though. I mean,
it is. I'm still a little disappointed, though. Like, again, I get it, but I really thought we was going to get like the women's singles title, like the women's intercontinental championship. I thought we were going to crown that at Crown Jewel, and I thought that would be amazing because of like, you know, kind of like how it is when it comes to like women wrestling there, and like how they have to really take a lot of steps. But to make that like one of the main things, I was like, oh, this is gonna be so dope. And it was like, no, it's this. Unless it freezes on Monday, we will get Gunther versus Cody Rhodes for the men. Yeah, but that's what I think. I just don't want to see Goldberg in the ring. Like, I get it. You did it. It was great.
Unless somehow we get Goldberg versus Brett. I don't know what it's gonna look like. Let's continue to promote real hate.
It's gonna look a lot of hospital attendees at the ring. That's what it's gonna look like.
Brett gonna pull a gun on that man mid-match.
And then that's gonna win match of the year over Hell in a Cell.
It's gonna pull on that man mid-match like, hey, this is not what we discussed.
You're like, wait a minute, where you get a gun from?
So I want to spend some time on this next match because this was a good spot. One of our other panelists, Dion, was actually in attendance, and one of the things he told us in our group chat is that Dominik Mysterio just does his job so well. Yes. From everything that started this match coming in, like Eddie and Chyna, him and Liv, and the lowrider. Of course, they get the cross promotion with the Mattel lowrider toy. We see what you're doing there, WWE. Yep. But a lot of little interesting nuances in this match. Like we found out that Dom is scared of heights, so the shark cage goes up in the air. And for the majority of this match, I can say honestly that Liv was in control. So one thing I love about Rhea Ripley is that she sells her ass off. But this validates Liv Morgan as a champion. Her moveset, what she's doing, we finally have a name for that new move, the home wrecker. There's a lot of times in this match where we're telling a story in the ring. Rhea's leg has been hurt. We're going to attack the knee. We're going to try to sub the knee. The shoulder that she popped in and out at Mania, we're going to attack the shoulder. Very smart tactical work by Liv Morgan that showcases why the company has put so much trust in her on the flagship brand as champion. Now, so we got a winner, but did we? So like I'm just gonna go on. Like I'm gonna show you this graphic and it says and still, but not winner. Not winner. Because the match felt like it was rushed. I don't know if we were pressed for time, but the way the finish happened, it seemed like the cameras weren't ready. Nobody was on their right cues, and the big reveal that I thought we was gonna have that happen should have led into like a disqualification victory for Rhea, or maybe the ref wasn't supposed to see it and Liv was supposed to pick up a pin, but it's like we was all like, "Hey, nah, fuck it, we leaving." Like, "Hey, this happened, we're leaving."
Nah, somebody rung the bell and wasn't supposed to do it. If memory serves me correct, and I could be wrong, a shark cage match is no disqualifications. So you can do whatever you want. And I think they didn't do that. And when you heard the bell, I think it was supposed to be like Raquel comes out, throws her back in the ring, and then throws Liv on top of her, and then that was supposed to be the count. So the ref was supposed to be out at one point, and that's what you could see.
Yeah, it was a mess. And for all y'all looking at on Twitter liking that Roman Reigns meme talking about no pop, y'all wrong. That wasn't Raquel's fault.
No, and you know what it was, and I know you was laughing at this, but I was dead ass serious because she didn't wear a hoodie. That was why. She didn't wear a hoodie. That's why that fucked up. I'm telling you. And look, I have the perfect proof because of what happened in the main event. Here's the thing: unless you have something signature that you wear that people are gonna immediately react to, like if you saw the Fiend come out of nowhere, you're gonna know that's the Fiend. Like you don't have to be like, who is that? It's like, oh shit, he's back. But if you wear like regular attire and stuff like that, no, you gotta have a hoodie on. You gotta build that. And you gotta be like, yo, who is that? Take the thing off slow and then reveal yourself. Like you just walked in like we know who Raquel Rodriguez is. I'm like, yo, you wasn't on the main roster that long.
You know why you're right? It's because you have evidence of two other occasions this week. Cora Jade, hoodie. Jimmy Uso, hoodie. So it's like she came out during the pinata spot where, by the way, I want that referee looked into for tampering because like we got you on film, bro. He gonna say, "Oh, no, dude, you deserve it. You do. That's not your job, sir."
Like, what we doing? We being biased now? That's what we doing? We got biased refs in the Triple H.
I need a few minutes. I'll get back to this. You deserve. No, you're supposed to be bipartisan, down the middle. You say, "No, you finish the match right here, or I'm disqualifying you." Like, no.
And so that's what made it a little bit even more awkward because it's like, so you let that happen, but then you disqualify when Raquel come out here. That's why when she threw her for the pin, it was like, oh, because you could tell that's what she thought was supposed to happen, but y'all already rung the bell and disqualified Liv. And I was like, yo, so the ref fucked this up.
Mm-hmm. But no, this match, I thought it was dope. I thought it showcased every reason why Liv Morgan is the champion and why, like you said the other day, that we're just hitting the stride of how good Liv can be as a heel. Mm-hmm. Like we're just ascending there to how good she can be as a heel on-screen persona and just having this title run. Shout out to Dom Mysterio for that spot of like, I don't know how he didn't tear his ACL. falling down.
The way they had it strapped. It was like I had caught one angle of it. It was a thick ass pad, but it wrapped right around his boot so perfectly. But it was like a thick black wrap that was like this wide, and then that's what was tied to the chain.
Okay, so I was about to say the way that drop happened, I'm like, ooh.
Now that's why he could drop like that. My I was more concerned about was the cage gonna give. Like I was like, yo, if that chain might snap, how he dropped so hard. I was just like, ooh, okay.
Ruins everything.
And I'm like, you moving everything and stuff. I'm like, hey, bro, look, I don't want nothing to happen to you, young man, because you are an asset that need to be protected. Mm-hmm. But I think people got to stop hating on Liv too with the because she always got to cheat to win. She always got to do this. It's like, yo, y'all seen that with so many people. No one said this about The Miz when he does it. Nobody says anything up to Logan Paul when he gets brass knuckles. Like, she is a heel. And it's not that she can't wrestle. It's not none of that. It's just like how she portrayed this with the storyline. It's like, yo, I'm not as strong as her. I'm not as big as her, but I'm smarter than her. And we've seen that story used repeatedly, and I've never seen y'all complain about it. So it's like, yo, stop complaining about Liv. Now that we're done with the Rhea thing, yeah, you'll get to see her defend her title and really show her wrestling skills with people who aren't as giant and cascading over her that can launch her across the ring. Like, what the fuck y'all think she gonna do? Like, y'all really think she's finna start bitch pressing Rhea Ripley? No, she ain't John Cena. Nope. She ain't Ivy Niles.
Nope. They did it right. And I mean, the callback, because I'm pretty sure what Michael Cole or Graves alluded to is that Rhea was also one of the last people to put Raquel on the shelf. So they've had this rivalry dating back to NXT and some of Rhea and Raquel's best work. So now that Raquel's back, you subside Rhea a little bit because, like you said, can you really believe Liv beating Rhea clean, especially on this ascent that Rhea's on as just a star of the company? Probably not. So you want to keep those two apart. You enter Raquel Rodriguez, and then you
Triple H.
Raquel Rodriguez, and now you get them far apart from each other from a while until Rhea gets crowned as a champion again. Now with Raquel, what I want to know is she a member of Judgment Day now?
That's my question. The way I'm seeing it, I want to say yeah, just because you got the Dominik stuff and you got Carlito there too, but I can also see she's with Liv as a bodyguard. Kind of like how we got Mercedes Moné and the other chick.
And Camille.
Yeah. So it's kind of just like, yo, I'm not with y'all, I'm with her.
I respect it. I mean, it can only mean a more lengthier run for Liv Morgan. And that's why I'm even more of an advocate for Tiffany Stratton cashing in on Liv. That's how Rhea will get her lick back on Liv. It's costing her the title. And then it's like, now you can have Rhea and Liv without titles, and then Rhea can get her come up inside at that type of fashion. Yeah,
I can definitely see it, man. I like it. Because like you said, I like what Nia Jax is doing. I don't want that to end. And I know people are ready to see Tiffy time. So I was just like, it makes sense. It's just picking that right time. And I think Liv needs like 2 more title defenses. And then I don't mind her getting cashed in on. Because I would like to see her, like when she does eventually have to drop the belt, I want to see her get another title reign.
Yeah, same here. Now, I mean, shout out to Liv. We'll see more on Monday night what happens to Raquel. I'm interested to see how this works out. Even if we get a War Games match, you have Team Rhea versus Team Liv. Now it just got real interesting because now when I think about Team Rhea, I'm going to pull this down because we got to talk about the main event and everything we saw. But when I think about Team Rhea, I think about the potential of our host of Bad Blood, which was the Big Three. What do we think about the job that the Big Three did? And the reason I bring this up is because Bianca Belair responded to a tweet that was sent out from Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend partying up outside of the State Farm Arena, saying that they've been seeing our tag team champions pop up everywhere, but popping up on Tuesday nights when they weren't there. So Bianca pretty much alluded to like, hey, I see what you're saying. Like, all you have to do is ask. So it seems like we're going to get a tag match soon with Bianca and Jade versus Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, which good look for all 4 women. But what do we think about the job of the hosts overall?
I mean,
do we need it?
Were they hosts?
I mean, they had the lounge, you had the people partying in the lounge. We got the moment. Piper Niven wanted to stay back and party with them, and getting the Chelsea content.
It kind of seemed like Captain Kelly was the host of Bad Blood, if we're being honest. Like, and they were just there. Like, again, it ain't no, like, I don't, like, just them being there is enough. Like, I wouldn't consider them hosting. Like, I didn't see them do no real hosting duties. It was just like, oh, okay, welcome to Bad Blood. Let's start with the Hell in the Cell match. Hey, we're here in this booth. And then that was it. We didn't see them no more after that.
Yeah, just shouting out people that was there.
Yeah.
Was in the building.
But it's certain little things I was seeing there, like the potential Piper Niven face turn, which I think is going to happen so we can get her versus Nia. But also, too, the small little riff I'm seeing within the big 3.
Ooh, yeah. Let's spend a little bit of time there because I'm noticing that too. Because what happened? There's a lot of love between Bianca and Naomi, but Naomi really been riding for Bayley. But we've seen Bianca kind of turn her nose up at that multiple times in the past couple of weeks.
Because you got to remember too, like Bayley terrorized Bianca with damage control and also took her out. So it's like, yo, I don't rock with Bayley. I don't care what she rocking with now. I don't rock with her, and I ain't forget what she done to me. That lady took me out, and so I'm starting to see like the little shade that she be throwing, especially at the end. I was like,
it's like, oh yeah, I wish her the best.
I wish her the best. And seeing Naomi's face, like I'm like, but also too, it's like I feel like, man, Naomi might get ready to turn heel, man. Cause like it's just I'm always seeing it there. Cause like, how many times are you gonna let Bayley outdo you and not get pissed? Like I would have been pissed if I didn't get to face Nia at Bad Blood. Because it's like, yo, it's always you that's hindering me from getting here. So now I need to show that I can beat you. Because you're always in my way when it comes to getting the title defense.
Do you think Bianca unlocks that outside in Naomi, or do you think Naomi? Basically, the big 3. I mean, you can't separate the big 3 because of the imagery that you had at WrestleMania this year. So does that mean that we get the entire group turn heel?
It's too many plays still that ain't finished yet for me to say that. And where we're at now, there's too many other pieces that would need to happen to take into play. So, like, it has to be something else that involves Bayley, but we don't know Bayley's next move. So, like, does Bayley stay on SmackDown or does Bayley start going for other things? Because if that's the case, then that takes that out of there, and then, we got a full restored big 3. But if you still got, like, Bayley being involved and Naomi trying to include her into it, then I can start seeing the rift to where it's like, yo, something got to get decided.
It's a good problem to have, and it could be a very subtle storyline they can tell over the next few months, just because what they're doing, Bianca, is very intentional and very obvious. Yeah, I'm just wondering how it's going to play out for Naomi, because I feel like they were announced as the host, and they were like, oh yeah, what about Naomi? We got to invite Naomi type thing. So it's like almost like that feeling of third wheel.
Yeah. So I can even see so that may be something that's going to move into a War Games, because now you have 4. And that's in Naomi, the tag champs, and Bayley. And then who they could take on, which would be like a Nia Jax, Tiffy, who else? Maybe Chelsea Green, and then Mia Yim on the other side. So I can see
how it could work. I can see the big 3 going heel just because they made Damage Control are essentially babyface now. Yeah. So when they get Asuka back, when they get Dakota Kai back, then that group is going to be even more fun in their babyface run. Yeah,
but that babyface run for the big 3 making money right now. That's making a lot of money. So
crossover effect of it as well. Like,
yeah. And so it's just like I don't see them changing that right now. But yeah, and then especially with the Kalani Jordan thing. So it's just like it's interesting. I don't think it's like a big priority storyline, but you see there's a little underlane that I know is gonna start to creep its way through.
Does the Kalani Jordan thing make Naomi jealous? That's what I want to see.
I can see that. And I can also see Bayley putting something in her ear about it and just kind of going just like, hey, you know, like that's starting to become the riff. It's like, yo, you know, like, hey, they don't like, you know, they're doing and making all of these moves and not even really discussing nothing with you.
Y'all 6 women tagging without me. There's a nice video floating around Twitter with Kalani Jordan pretty much paying homage to Naomi with a lot of her moveset, like side by side, like really going on Naomi stuff. So there's a lot of things you can lean in there, which I like. I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
You can get a match with Naomi and Kalani Jordan and be like, well, why are you taking on Baby Girl? Like, we like Baby Girl. Like,
yeah, exactly. And then too, like, yeah, and then that also goes back to the thing with the NXT stuff. Like, her and Bayley can go down there and start doing stuff. So yeah, I can see it. I started to see that, and I'm just like, curious to that. Even the Piper Niven thing, I'm like, okay, Piper, you might be going babyface on us. Okay, I see you. That works.
All right, we finally here, y'all. And whoever's joining us, everybody in the chat, King, Mike Hall, Boza, Sendil, we appreciate y'all rocking with everybody viewing online. Now we got to talk about the shits. This is what we're here for. Yep. We've been here for this match. And first things first, we're going to talk about this, but we're going to get the product placement going. We got the Terramana. We're going to get some Terramana in here.
To the good old Terramana.
Shout out to the final boss. What I was going to say is if this main event showed me one thing, is that the company, TKO Group, whatever you want to call them, they could not wait for the original Tribal Chief to return to in-ring action on a PLE. Because, my God, if there were any undertones, your Universal World Champion entered first within this duo.
Yes.
Had a marching band from the community perform his song, which I always thought that there was like I thought it was a little botch because the transition between his actual music and I think I heard wrestling has more than one royal family twice. I think there was a little bit of production issues there. Either way.
Also timing. So that with bands is a very hard thing because I've had to be like part of productions that are like that. So it's if you don't have that practice yet with a live audience there to test it first, a lot of things can go wrong. Because not only did that happen, someone's mic was on and was catching someone's horn individually, which was louder than everybody else. So you'd hear that rather than it being a perfect unison. So I think just not having that fully prepared and then with the music playing, like what you're hearing, and then when you make your sound, that can be like a few seconds off from what's being played because the music that's playing is an echo. So you're not hearing it directly from a speaker. You're catching what's going around. Mm-hmm. So necessarily what I'm hearing, when I hear the whoa, I may hear the whoa before you, Cedric, if you're in another part of the stadium.
Right.
And they didn't know that. So they're just kind of like listening to what they're hearing and then thinking they're being in unison with that. And then it started throwing everything off. Mm-hmm. And I can tell that's why they started turning down the mics like, no, stop. Just let it play. Y'all had y'all time.
Sindel says we haven't had a merch ad. Yeah, relax, Sindel. We're trying to get the Terramana sponsorship. The final boss back, we need that Terramana sponsorship because he can't drink Diddy water no more. So we get in there. Okay.
141 people, man. We trying to get that logo up here too.
Exactly. But
yeah,
that was so the reason I brought the interest up because Cody came out first, obviously local band, stuff like that. But then Roman in his first match in WrestleMania has the Philharmonic, has an actual orchestra with him. But the visual that I saw is that maybe it's just effective camera angles, but everybody in that arena was on their feet with ones up on Roman Reigns' entrance, including the orchestra. So like that told a different story to me because that overshadowed the person you pick to be the face of the company.
Here's what I'm finna say. A lot of people not about to like this, and it is what it is. And here's a hot take for everyone. These two people you're seeing in this image, I'm gonna tell you why the one on the right precedes the one to the left, because no one says that's he's Alpha's son, right? Or Sika's son. No one goes, that's Alpha's son. Everyone goes, that's Roman Reigns. We still say that's Dusty's kid. The problem is the one to the right is number one. You have always put yourself at number two. And it goes with you. You know how to play the part, but you're too nice. So it doesn't exceed you to number one. You play all the things that you need well, but Roman plays it better. Even through all the turmoil that y'all went with, from Stardust to literally John Cena telling you, I'm here because you can't do your job. To me, them two things are parallel. I'm like, yo, had the greatest of all time look at you and tell you ain't shit in front of everybody, and you watch the how the two of these men excelled. It's different. Mm-hmm. These two are on completely different levels. You're looking at, to the left, a man, and to the right, you're looking at a dude who said he was in God mode and changed the whole perception. Remember, we did not like Roman Reigns at all.
Right.
We was just like, yo, this dude is not going to make it. And he defied every possible thing. And I think what also happened is because he stayed. I think because he never left, never faltered, kept going through the shit, kept being there and showing up each and every single day, he has a bigger captivation with this audience. While Cody still has not gotten out of the shadow of his father. And Roman doesn't sit in alpha shadow. Those are the difference between these two men.
There were times in the match at the end I thought we might get a double turn right before our eyes, meaning that Cody was going to turn on Roman with all the fanfare Roman got. But the match itself, even so, we talk about being number two or being in the shadow. Even the moment where Cody jumps off the ring post to pretty much take out Jacob Fatu, saying, "Hey, you got it from here."
Yeah,
that was almost like, "Hey, I'm passing the torch back. Like this is your world now. You go get the
bro." After you had a whole promo where you say that's not none of yours.
Yeah, it's not yours. This title isn't yours to take. That felt like, hey, I'm giving the ball back to you type thing. I'm like, hey, like, shouldn't Cody be the one? This is another match. If you followed our picks on WWTalkPod.com, I actually picked the Bloodline to win this match. I thought they would. And I thought I did too. I thought Cody Rhodes would take the pin, thus elevating this. But there were other ways that they got to the focal point of like, hey, no, this whole brand, WWE, outside of the merch, whatever, Roman is the guy. That showed me that there.
You know the problem with Cody, and I'll put this in Marvel term. Cody is the perfect Captain America. Like, if you look at it, he is the Captain America of WWE. But can we be honest, Cedric? Is Captain America your favorite Marvel character?
No.
My point
Not
exactly.
Long shot.
But you respect Captain Marvel, though. I mean, you respect Captain America, but that ain't your favorite.
He's all right, but he's not my favorite now.
Exactly. Like, we get what he is. We get what he stands for. That's what Cody does. He's the guy that's going to jump on the grenade. Why is the champion not taking out the tribal chief, but taking out the werewolf? If you're supposed to be the guy, if you're supposed to be at the head of the WWE table.
Man. And I love that we got and Reigns really sold like how strong the bloodline is at his current iteration with how he sold for Jacob, for Solo, because there's people should not move like Jacob moves at that size. So the way they kind of kept him and Roman apart, but even like had they, I guess, tussle with each other a little bit, but not fully. That shows me that's going to be a bigger storyline to go. But then you still show that Cody is like super Cody because he was taking out Jacob just on the toes as well in the ring. I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
Like to the point where it led to that moment outside. Where he was like, "Hey, no, stay down, stay down." Cody did that. So they're still portraying Cody strong, but all the imagery in this match showed that Roman Reigns is still him.
This is my
100%.
yard. This is still my yard. And that's what it showed. I will say the only thing I would have preferred to have seen was the matchup. Like, instead of like when Jacob first get at him, like Roman's down already. I was like, I'd have rather it been like Cody tag Roman, solo tags Jacob. They get in and they start looking at each other. Let that crowd get up because it's like we've never seen them in the ring together.
Right.
So it's like, yo, this is the first time. Like, let this be something special, especially since y'all building him up to be this super werewolf type of guy that is hard to take down. And so
you can tell that the way they're interacting is that Roman respects him.
Yeah.
And I like that the announcers in the back end say, like, hey, they knew about Jacob Fatu, but he's uncontrollable, which is why they didn't bring him into the fold with the past iteration of the Bloodline. They're telling a story there.
Yeah.
Now, I like the finish a lot because it looked like Solo was going to get his win over Roman by saying, hey, you lied to me. You said I was next in line. You told me I'd be the next tribal chief. And then we get what you foreshadow. We get a person in the hoodie. I don't know when he jumped the barricade, but
just stand there.
Just stand there and just low key. Stand there behind the Gorillas of Destiny. And until they finally see him, and then you see an Air Force One go in the air and hit Tangaloa right in the chin. Now, I guess the fun part about this whole thing is that fans have been pretty much, hey, when's Jimmy coming back? When's Jimmy coming back? It's on this SmackDown. It's on this PLE. So you finally got it. So I think they pulled the trigger at the right time.
Yeah, they
for
did.
Jimmy to come back because it's been a while. And then, of course, Roman Reigns picks up the pin over Solo. Gets the 1, 2, 3 after a spear. You get the big hug between Jimmy and Reigns. I didn't like this part. Here's why.
I thought something was gonna happen. I thought either a Superman punch was coming or a super kick was coming. I kept thinking, like, who's about to hit who first?
Exactly. I was like, who's gonna bend? Because I didn't like that Jimmy went into full Jacob Fatu mode, like just with the praying hands to Roman. It's like you falling back into the lackey already?
Well, I mean, but he was at that time anyway. Remember, like when we got to WrestleMania, he was still that. Like he was in full support. He was still Bloodline. He was still like, yo, you know, with Paul Heyman and stuff. That didn't switch up. And then Roman, of course, got defeated, and he wasn't there no more. And so his loyalty never left. He was still kind of that lackey, and it made sense to go back into the fold, but I was expecting like super kick.
I thought this was this chance like, hey, I've been in the gym. I've been working on my one-on-one grind, you know, like I'm gonna take out the Bloodline by myself. Nope.
Yep.
He came back and bent the knee already.
I mean, but I get it though, bro. Like again, like there can only be one Jey Uso. You know, Jimmy got to find his own path, you know, and eventually he will.
Eventually. So, I mean, we have a corner of the original Bloodline back together with Jimmy and Roman, and that and we know outside of like kayfabe and all that Paul Heyman is fine. They did the media tour, him and Roman, a few weeks ago. So who knows when Paul will actually be back on screen. Roman and Cody win this match. They celebrate. Cody's battered. They have an embrace. Cody and Roman say, hey, I told you I have your back type of thing. Then the Bloodline goes, hits the ring, and attacks Cody. And to your credit, this is where Jimmy's loyalty lies. He says, what's the play, Oos? You OTC. I'm riding with you. They getting Cody. We gotta help out. And they do. And they clear the ring of the Bloodline. They flee. And then, and this is almost, are we almost a year to the date when, we're almost a year to the date from War Games where we had the CM Punk return. We get the final boss. Of course, those are your winners. And then, listen, if you a fan in Georgia and you was in Atlanta today, you won.
I gotta ask you, I can't wait to talk to Dion. I'm like, Dion, you just gotta tell me, what was it when the music hit? When the music hit, What was it like in there? Because I said it. I called it. I was like, yo, I don't give a fuck. This delusional. I'm calling it. The Rock showing up. And then at first, I'm gonna be honest too. Watching this, when Jimmy came out, I thought that was it. I was like, okay, we letting this thing cook, and Jimmy's back. Okay, cool. If The Rock don't show up, understandable. Y'all have already given us so much already. What more could you do? And then all of a sudden, I was like, when they ran back to help him, I was kind of like,
I was like, damn, okay. Is that it?
I was like, we still got 4 minutes left. This when you start looking at the timer and you like, okay, you start figuring out how this schedule going. It's like, okay, it's 6:20, it's 6:26 right now. I know 30 minutes is gonna be to the press conference. So we still got 4 minutes before that trademark comes on the right and the show is over. And they just finished fighting. I said, okay, so I'm seeing him, and we were seeing Roman pick up the belt, looking at it, hands it to Cody, and I was like, we still have 3 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as he held it up, and I was like, we still have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. I didn't even hear the music. I saw a blue light flash, and I'm like, he's here. He's here.
Exactly.
He's fucking here.
You start seeing the lightning bolts in the back.
I
Like,
saw the light shade.
I
I was like, here. Here. But I will say, whoever was running Atlanta's production at Bad Blood, y'all might want to go look at this tape because there were definitely some mishaps that y'all fucked up. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, like it still hit because everybody's like, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen?" And this is literally the same thing we got with CM Punk a year ago. It's just a stare down that tells so many different layers. We're like, for months, we're like, okay, who let Solo be the tribal chief? Is Dwayne behind this because he's on the board and all this stuff? And now we get this new wrinkle, and I don't know what inning we're in right now, but that stare down can go any different way. And what Dwayne did is he held up 1, 2, 3, his music hit, and then he does a slice of the throat. So could that mean Roman, Cody, Jimmy? Is he mad? I don't know why the hell he's still carrying around this People's Championship belt. And that's why
I was like, why you still got this belt, bro? Like, I was not expecting. I was like, so the belt's still here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's going to be a thing. That's going to be a thing, I guess.
I was like, that'll be a thing. Okay. We see the crown jewel thing. That's fine. Here's what I took from it. I think that was to Roman. And I think that was 3 strikes, you're out. I think it was losing at WrestleMania, decide to take this match, and then go in and beat up your family to protect him. After everything he did and disrespected us at that press conference and everything he's done and messed up, you're going to go tag with this man and you're going to fight your family and help him? That's what I saw when I saw 1, 2, 3. You're done. And I don't think he's responsible for the Temu bloodline, but I think that's the reason he's going to join it.
Yo, if Dylan is not in here, I need that clip because that's bars right there. That's spot on. Because if that's a theory, that I can totally see that because there's been no like, hey, they always say by orders of the tribal chief with this new bloodline, but that's alluding to Solo, not somebody that's over anybody else.
Yeah.
But now that's a beautiful way to like state that, just because now if he's just stepping in now because he's tired of what he's seeing from afar.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot because they're both like, what is he doing here? They're shook. They visibly confused faces. Cody, we still don't know what The Rock told Cody on that Monday Night Raw. That's still another storyline. Roman seemingly not looking fearful, but almost looking like I didn't know he'd be here type thing.
Yeah, that's why, and I think that's what they want to do with like just giving out the confusion. But when he walked out, that looked like, yo, like when your daddy come out, like, yo, what you think you doing over there? What you think hey, didn't I tell you not to go play with them over there? Get your ass back over here. That's what that reminded me of. And then when I saw this, I was like, oh yeah. Because if you think about it, we thought it was kind of like delusional of Solo of what he was saying, like, yo, you failed, and now I'm trying to get this. And it was just like, at first we thought that didn't make sense, but then you really start breaking it down. It's like, yo, for them, this is a family thing. This dude disrespected our entire bloodline. This man made fun of High Chief Maivia, yo. This man had the gall to say this man's name in front of our tribal chief and the final boss. Don't none of these cats like you. And you gonna go side with the enemy to take us out? After you failed all of this build up, all of this hype, all of this stuff, and you let Dusty's son beat you, the tribal chief? I know The Rock find that disrespectful. And again, this is just storyline wise. Like, The Rock beat this man with a belt and sung the Moana song to his mama. And you paired up with this guy to fight your family.
Listen, if this is the original, if this is the pivot that we get to Roman and Rock at Mania in Vegas, this is the greatest pivot of all time.
Yes.
Like, you can't be mad that you didn't get it in Philly because you got all this dialogue to get right back to where we started.
It's like, we're right back, Samson. We're back.
Like, oh my God. That'd be the greatest pivot of all time that happens. And now we don't know when Dwayne's going to show up again. We don't know if we'll get a video segment or anything because he wasn't at the press conference. Cody was also not at the press conference.
Yeah.
But
and I think they went over for what it looked like.
They might have went over time as well. But we do know that immediately after this, that The Rock went live on Instagram, pretty much talking to the final boss, let him know that he's pissed with what he's been seeing. He didn't give up too much. We said he's not happy with what he's been watching, what he's been seeing. And then now, coincidentally, we also have Kevin Owens turning on Cody Rhodes backstage. I don't know where Randy falls and all that, but Kevin Owens fed up, which rightfully so. He watched the product. He's been terrorized by the bloodline more than anybody else. So we're probably going to get heel KO versus. Actually, I don't even want to say heel KO because he's justified. He's justified.
No, it is. It's like, yo, you can't keep being Captain America and think you're not gonna get punched in the face. And eventually that's gonna happen. And then, but now we look at what the road leads to. So we got what? Crown Jewel,
Survivor Series.
And that's it. So we already know what Cody's tied up in for Crown Jewel. So we know nothing's really happening there. And then we have Survivor Series, War Games. And the thing is, like, and what that leads to, because we still have to have the Rock and Cody match. And so where does that happen?
I don't think we get that till Royal Rumble, February 1st.
So do you think Royal Rumble is big enough to house that?
It's going to be a later Royal Rumble, so I imagine they have more time to prepare, so I'll say yes.
Okay, because that's what I'm trying to figure, because it's like, I know we're going to get Rock and Roman at WrestleMania. Like, that is just like, that's the only thing that makes sense. But it was like, so where do we get this Cody match? And I was like, I don't think it'll be Elimination Chamber. Oh, snap, Saturday night main event. Wow. Yeah.
I just put a tweet in the chat if you want to see that real quick. And that's probably the epitome of what The Rock is feeling right now. And if you're a hip hop fan, you know what happened this summer and spring with Kendrick and Drake. The Rock is it's a picture of The Rock with the Euphoria lyrics that I see two of them kissing and hugging on stage. That's the epitome of what's going on right now. No, but we do got to get the Rock Cody match before we get the Rock and Roman match, which that's too big to be anywhere but WrestleMania. It probably doesn't need a title. But I think what you'll see is The Rock versus Cody for the People's title, which is why we keep seeing it on his shoulder.
Do you think Cody? So you think Cody is going to lose a championship before Mania?
I don't know if I don't think you need, unless you want Roman to pull the belt off The Rock. The Rock already stamped him years ago. I don't think you need to do that. What I do think you need to do is like that People's Champion, which Cody will challenge The Rock, say, no, I'm the People's Champion now. But I don't know. I don't want to say The Rock's ego is too big to take a pinfall to Cody. I think he would. But
I think he would. And what gave it away is that crown jewel belt. So I think Gunther's going to win that, and then this is the one Cody's going to get.
Yeah, people's belt. So I don't know what that does for The Rock. I mean, it's just an imaginary title. So however we get to Rock Roman, that's going to be like for, I guess, just tribal supremacy.
I can see Roman interfering in that match and causing Cody to win. Because like you said, I don't think he needs to necessarily go over clean, but I can see Roman doing that to solidify the WrestleMania match.
Mm-hmm. So in the midst of all this, one thing I love that WWE is doing is giving like purpose to things outside of titles. We've seen it with the bracelet with with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, and we have the Ula Fala. Is there a chance that Solo presents The Rock with the Ula Fala?
Ooh. I don't think so. I think you might see The Rock like put it on Solo, because I don't see him wanting to become the tribal chief and the final boss. Like, we're still going with this whole final boss character. I don't think him necessarily having the Ula Fala works. I think keeping it on Solo pisses Roman off a little bit more. Like, Rock don't need it. Like, The Rock is The Rock. Like, just the fact that you standing behind him and you do this, that's enough right there.
Right. Just because like it showcases like, hey, where does Solo get this battery in his back from?
Yeah,
The Rock.
Yep. And then hopefully that steps his, because that's the thing too. I also saw in this match is, again, Solo got to step that shit up. Solo has got to step that shit up. Like the way Jacob was, and then what was fucked up about it is Jacob, we already knew Jacob was cold in the ring, but Jacob also showed that he knows how to tell a story, that he knows how to talk. And it's like, Solo, bro, you got to bump this character up. You got to get this character up. We have got to see you evolve, because it is, you still acting like Roman's enforcer.
Yeah. And I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know if he has to, because the Cena thing was supposed to like give him so much as far as like taking out John in the fashion that he did. So I don't know who he has to take out in like that type of fashion to make it seem like, okay, the tribal chief or this new tribal chief is deadly.
I don't even think of it as necessarily taking it out. It's the same thing Roman had to work on, which is mic skills. Like, Solo needs to learn how to talk. We need to see his personality. Like, just like the conversation y'all was having, but like, what do you want to see more? Charisma and character, or in-ring work? So it's like, you need to be able to talk on the mic. We saw Roman progress with that. We saw Roman, like, every time Roman get a mic, now it's just a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
And Solo needs to do that. Like, you need to give us a reason to hate you. Get us to the level where you're like Dom and we're booing to where you can't talk. But you just walking around menacing and just like this, it's like, that's only going to get you so far.
Yeah, it's almost like, I don't believe you.
Yeah, it's really
even
just
with
like,
the suits and stuff like that. I don't believe you. The monster is standing right next to you with the prayer hands.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't believe you, and I don't believe this rabid pit bull next to you believes it.
Man, but like it, but like to your point, the final boss stamp would do wonders for him if he put the fingers up next to Solo. Mm-hmm. If The Rock get on one knee and say, "I acknowledge you as my tribal chief," I don't think he'll do that. That's a hell of a stamp.
That's a that's a lot right there.
Solo better break some championship reigns if he get that.
Solo got
that type of stamp.
Yeah, you get that type of stamp. You gotta take out LA Knight like it ain't nothing and get that championship.
I don't know about that. Like you get Dwayne on bended knee. You better.
You got the final boss on bended knee saying he acknowledged you. You the baby Oos. Come on, bro. You better.
Yeah, I need multiple titles on you at one time. I need you to go take that title off Jay. Take this title off Cody, and make it realistic. But
yeah.
But no, that's been WWE Bad Blood. Like we said, our winners tonight, and we'll tally out all the WWT crews picks. Winners tonight: Damian Priest, Liv Morgan retain. Rhea Ripley wins by disqualification. We don't really know what happens there. Cody and Roman Reigns win. Nia Jax won. CM Punk won as well. Great card from top to bottom, and we're heading into Crown Jewel, where we'll seemingly be crowning a Crown Jewel bragging rights champion amongst our world champions, something like that. But overall, I would call it a honestly, it delivered. I'm not gonna jump to 10. I'll say 8 out of 10 card.
Okay, I give it 10 because I got everything right and it gave me everything I wanted.
There we go.
So that's why I say it'll be a biased 10. It'll be a gentleman's 10. But if we're being a realistic Randy, I'd give it a 9 out of 10 just because of the production mess up. That's it.
Yeah, they did. I didn't think we were gonna get special interests for Bad Blood, but
yeah,
Roman and Cody came with that.
Yeah, and I didn't think we were gonna get Jimmy and The Rock. I thought it was like Jimmy and then that was it. Like I thought that'd be done, but Jimmy and The Rock and Raquel and that Hell in the Cell man, I'm like, yo, I watched all of this. I would go back and rewatch Bad Blood.
Justice for Raquel. Like we better get some Raquel better nerf somebody on Monday. I don't know who it is, but Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae, Zelina. So one of y'all gonna get nerfed on Monday just because like
she got a dog walk Zelina. I'm sorry, honey. I'm so sorry, but she got a dog walk Zelina Vega.
I mean, somebody got to get hurt on Monday for this historic mess up of her return.
Somebody got to get thrown like this by her. Somebody, and we got to see that. I need to see another last woman standing match between Rhea and Raquel. Yeah. I need to see that on the main roster.
Somebody need to get sent to the upper room so she can flex her back and put some respect on her return because production, y'all messed that up.
Y'all definitely messed that up. And make sure you wear a hoodie when you come back. If anybody else has been out for a while, like if you're not Charlotte Flair, where your music finna hit and you come out, wear a hoodie. Wear a black hoodie. It always wins 100%. The shock value is always. Oh, it's it, and especially man, like, come on, man, come on.
Hey, we just did that with Jimmy Uso. We could have ran that. I mean, she probably want to get her fit off. I'm not gonna lie. She probably want to get her fit off, but still,
you could have
said production, the camera angles, they ruined that.
They did. Like we didn't even see who hit her. Like Dom just hanging, and I'm like, oh, it must be Raquel. Just because I knew it was like it must be Raquel, and then she walked around. I was like, oh yeah, that's Raquel. And then, of course, the commentary, too, Michael Cole really fucked it up. They was like, it took like a hot 15 seconds after everything happened. Who is that?
Sam, ring bell person rings the bell, and the match is technically not over.
Yep.
There's supposed to be a pin count after that. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I'll adjust these picks because we don't know who won that match. We're saying it's Liv because now we know the official rules that it's not no disqualification, but that was probably the weirdest part of the night, which is why we're at 8 and not the 10. But the final boss makes up for all.
Yeah, and I just because of the story of what they were going for, that's why I say I'll give it a 9 just because it gave everything. But for me, I got everything I wanted. So 10 out of 10.
There we go. So no, shout out to Sindel. We'll play merch stuff on Monday, but until the meantime, we're ready for the Final Boss. Final Boss, give us that Terramana sponsorship. Thank you guys for joining us here on WWT for this Bad Blood post show. We're going to have way more content coming the next couple of weeks. Check out our website. There's a bunch of interviews there from some of your favorite women's wrestling superstars in professional wrestling as a whole. We got a bunch of articles going up every day. We have a bunch of watch-alongs. We're going to have a Monday Night Raw watch-along. Of course, we have Tuesday Night Pharaoh. We have our Honey Night SmackDown watch-along. And I believe we have other shows with not just like Ring of Honor, TNA we're going to bring back, but also I'm mixing the name of it. WoW. We have a WoW post-show watch along as well. But no, keep it locked with us. We have a lot of content. Councilman, tell the good people where they can find you.
You could just find me at Will Farrell, PHARAOH. No crazy handles this time. Just because of how good Bad Blood was. Just make sure you follow me on socials, YouTube and Twitch. It was, man, the final boss showed up, man. Final fucking boss, man. And that's it. That's it.
I can't say it better. You can follow me on Twitter at Said Says, on the gram it says the answer. Follow all of our illustrious creators here at Women's Wrestling Talk. The Professor, NXT Bonafide, by the way, Honey, TK, Dion, Courtney. We have a bunch of great people supporting this brand, and we have a lot of great content coming up today. Thank you guys for joining us on this Bad Blood post show. We see all you guys in the chat. Boza, King Mike Hall, Blue Billionaire. Sindel, we have had a bit of a peace treat today, so I appreciate you for that until Tuesday. And then I'm pretty sure there'll be a bunch of clips on this, but yeah, we are going to call this one an end for the final boss, and we hope that we get more answers coming forward. Thank you for those who showed up this week and wore a hoodie, and let that be a message to y'all going forward. If you're going to make a return, wear a hoodie. But until next time, this has been Bad Blood Post Show, and this has been WWT. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com.